So welcome my dear watercolor friends. I'm just back from Fabriano and Aquarello 2022 and so it's probably the best time to come back and celebrate Lucas Watercolors or Lucas Paints 160 anniversary. So 1862 until 2022, and I feel really honored to be able to take over their Instagram channel this week and just celebrate the joy of loose watercolor with Lucas Watercolor 1862. And today everything is about loose and expressive flower painting, which is, in my opinion, the very best warm-up for loose painting. And I think I'll start with a few sunflowers. So I'm using a pretty cheap Chinese brush to start and bring in some. So this is Naples Yellow. Just trying to bring an idea of my picture on the paper. So I'm not doing sketches with a pencil on the paper. I always felt for direct watercolor. And this is not for perfection, it's just for having fun with painting and colors. Of course you should know a few rules about watercolor when you paint, but as soon you start painting, you should just forget about them, just keep them in the memory. So in the background you hear the soundtrack I did for my demonstration at Fabriano and Aquarello, which was this time in Bologna mainly, because of several reasons. It had to be there instead of Fabriano, but at least we had one day in Fabriano, this beautiful small historic city, and this was so inspiring to meet all these wonderful watercolor artists from all over the world. And yes, I'm still really inspired of that event. So this is cobalt turquoise, and I really love these huge tubes from Lucas because they support my way of painting a great way, because I do feel really free to use lots of colors this way. And so what I try here is to get a feeling for the flower, of course, but it doesn't have to be in a really naturalistic style. I just want to bring my emotions on the paper. So now some cyan blue. This is a pretty cheap sketching paper I use for these little warm-ups. So when I combine wet painting, sometimes a dry brush, what is important for me is to find my very own and specific brush language, because I think this is just talking with the brushes and trying to bring your emotions to the paper too. I also decided for sunflowers again because it's so sorry to know that we still have war in the Ukraine, and I got so many watercolor friends from the Ukraine, so also from Russia, and I feel so bad about this war, and also this behavior of our German politicians in the beginning. Now it's getting better, but I think especially we artists, we should all stand together against any war. No matter where it is. Now this war is close to us in Europe, but there are wars all over the world. I heard something yesterday that it's more about 45 conflicts right now going on all over the world, and I really think if humans are such a great idea of nature, they should be much better than killing each other in wars. Really, I don't get it. And this is why I think that these watercolor festivals are so important, because really we artists, we should always stand together and it should be always against any kind of war, because I think war brings so much suffering to the whole world. And we should do everything possible just to end this damn war. Sorry for that, but it had to be said. It's a tragedy that we have to talk about the war even when we paint, but so to be honest, I'm not able to get this out of my mind completely, not even when I paint. Usually it should be this way, that you lose everything else when you paint, that you make a reset for your brain, but these days, unfortunately, it doesn't work. So, but now let's just enjoy painting. So this kind of painting should be pretty much effortless. Of course you move a lot, but you should just try to feel the freedom this wonderful medium gives you. You may see that I hold the brush at the end of the grip, and this is just because I would like to just lead it just only a little bit. I think the brushes also need their freedom, and this way it's easier to stand back from total control and just let things happen on the paper. Put something red in the... Yes. So I always try to balance the color composition a little bit by when I paint red here, it has to appear somewhere else on the sheet too. And this is what I'm doing with any color I use. This way, at least I think so, it's very colorful, but still, yeah, not hurting the eye. And you can bring together almost all colors from your palette. So another reason why I don't paint too naturalistic is that I think that nature is so beautiful itself. And it's not possible to really catch the beauty of nature in a painting. Seen photorealistically or something like that. But it's such a great inspiration, and what I'm trying to do is to translate my impression from nature, from flowers, and bring it to the paper. So it doesn't matter if this runs into another. Maybe it could even be a little bit more. So now I take a flat brush. It shouldn't be too small. So this is 50 millimeter. It's a pretty good size for everything. Now I want to have some contrast to the pretty bright flower. And so I try to create a more diffuse and darker background around the flower. Soft soften this red here a little bit because it's not the main thing. This way I make sure that the painting process is a lot of fun all the time. It's not stressful in any way because it doesn't have to be perfect. I think perfect or too much perfection is a little bit boring too. So there's nothing wrong with realistic watercolors. I like the craft, and there's a lot of art in it too, of course. But I found out it's not my way of painting. I'm more interested in painting watercolors as a meditation, therapy, and first of all for myself. Of course I'm happy when other people like my paintings, but I would never try to paint for likes, because I think this would be like a freelancer job or something like that, and I decided to go back from working as a professional artist and make this a passion again, and just enjoy it without the necessity of earning money with it. Of course it's nice when you sell a picture from a painting from time to time, but this isn't the most important thing for me. It's simply not important at all, but of course painting is not the cheapest hobby, and if you can just finance it from painting and selling or doing workshops, this is a situation that I like. So I still have my main job in the call center, mostly at night, to be free with my art. So I really don't have, and I don't want to have to look that it pays my rent and my living. Because this way I would lose my independence again, like I did before my job, and really life is too short, I feel, to do this any longer. Nowadays I think our lifetime is much too short to waste too much time with bullshit. So these splashes and sprinkles in my eyes, they help to make the painting more lively, and they are always also I wouldn't say a trick, but they suggest things that you don't have to paint in detail. So maybe there's some leaves or something in the back, and I just suggest it with some splashes. Or fine but expressive line or something. This is Cadmium Yellow. You have to be pretty careful with it. It's a great color, but when you use it too early and it mixes up too much with other paints, it looks all a little bit greenish then. This might be a cool effect in some paintings, of course, but I would just recommend to be careful with it. And this cadmium orange, it's one of my favorite colors from Lucas, because it's so bright and shiny. I don't know if you can see in the video, but trust me, it is this way. And again, I try to bring in some balance, because the splashes should take up the colors I used before to make everything a little bit more composed. So if you like to learn more about my kind of loose watercolor painting, especially sunflowers and flowers, I recommend my last book that's called Sunflower in Your Life. And it's in there I share all my experience I did with this kind of painting during the last year. And believe me, this is real fun, and it's so good for getting loose with the brushes. For me, this opened a completely new view on watercolor painting. And since I do that, especially as a warm-up, I feel so much more freedom in all of my paintings. So not too long ago, I thought I would never paint flowers, because I always had the feeling this is something for old ladies at the coffee table. Although there are a few exceptions, like Elke Memmler, who is for me the greatest watercolor flower artist, but she has found her pretty unique style for it, and I am happy whenever she posts a new painting, because she's really so amazing. And such a nice person too. For me, these flower paintings are just a way to find out more about watercolors. Some Terradiciana, burnt, and maybe some English red. It's Cadmium. I love these tubes. I have more here, so this is why I missed the English red in Fabriano. I left it here. So now I mix the burnt sienna with ultramarine, which gives a pretty nice brown, grey. This is really good to add some more contrast in some parts of the painting. Well, maybe you can see I really try to let my brushes dance over the surface. Because this way I make sure that it's maybe 50% control and 50% random. I really love it when things just happen on the paper while painting. And so painting is never work for me, it's just coming pretty close to myself. It's something effortless. It almost feels natural, maybe. I try to recommend I would recommend to try painting with most of your body. So I almost dance while I'm painting, especially when the music is going on. and supporting me. And really don't be afraid of colors, strong colors. So now I use some opaque white with, I think this is purple. To get a little bit lighter and more pastel look. I think I do the same with the Cadmium Yellow. So if you're more into the classic way of watercolor painting, you might not enjoy my work too much, but I would recommend to anybody just try to paint like this. I mean just with the freedom, not in my style, because it's not about my style. The goal is to develop your own with this. And this flower painting really helped me. So the great question is always, when is the watercolor finished? And the only thing I can say is, it depends on. You should always paint as long you feel for it, or if you just like what you see, then and you don't have the feeling, oh no, it's not working this way. And so it's pretty hard to say how long a loose watercolor painting should take or a realistic watercolor painting. Most of the time I work on several watercolors side by side or parallel, just changing from the one to another in between. And this makes the painting process the most important thing.
Of course, you can take off a little bit of paint and smooth it here and there. So because this is a cheap paper, it's not taking up the watercolor as good as a quality watercolor paper, but the result will still be nice. And when you can paint on this paper, the more it will be a pleasure to paint on the good paper later. I think I should finish this one pretty soon. So this is Lucas Red, a wonderful, unique red. And I use it on top almost with just a tiny little bit of water, almost direct from the tube. So now I think I need some more cobalt turquoise for this area down here. So I think it would be nice if there's something standing above the dark background. Again, balancing. just add the darkest parts. And it's important that this happens at least as loose, because when you don't paint these as loose as the other colors, it would destroy the loose feeling completely, because it wouldn't be one. When you use all colors in the right order, but any color as brave as possible, then you should be on a good way. This might have been a little bit too much of this really thick cadmium orange. This way it's better. It's just a little bit more. So now to finish it, I use Cadmium Yellow now, mixed with a little bit of orange and just a tiny little bit of Naples yellow. This way it's not that poisoned. Okay, I think I should stop here, especially because one of my brushes fell down to the floor. I hope you enjoyed and try to paint this way. Just try to be free, try to be bold with the paints, with the brushes. Try to put your fantasy on the paper and the impressions you got when you just close your eyes, when you looked at flowers and then close your eyes. Try to paint what you see then and try to bring it on the paper. This is my way for flower painting, and really it helped me so much to develop a pretty unique style that makes it a real pleasure to paint. anytime. Thank you, bye bye. Happy painting.